Hello, this is part two of a two-part series on how to set up a Minecraft server on a Linux server. The server I'm using, the operating system I'm using is Debian 9 Stretch, and without an operating system, so you need to use the terminal commands. But I showed that in the first episode. And to operate more than one terminal at a time, you could go Control Alt F1 or F2 or F3 and so on. So to get back to this, we're going to need to download some files from a regular computer. And by the way, I'm using VirtualBox for the demonstration because I had trouble getting the camera that I had in good enough resolution to see the letters here and the terminal commands, so that didn't work. So that's why it's doing it this way. So back to this. First we need to get Minecraft. So go to the official site. We get there, and then go to the menu, because if you do this you'll be buying the playing version of Minecraft. So when you go find the download version, which is in trial, and I'm sorry, not the download version, the server version, which is in trial and download down here. And then you'll scroll down, play with your friends. You can set up your own Minecraft server from home, although that's a bit trickier to do, it says. It is a little bit, but that's what this video is for. So here's the page for downloading the Minecraft server. Included is a link to a wiki article for setting it up. If you like having written instructions, that's a good place to start. Here's the place to download the server file, which is a Java file, and so we'll start that download, and then we'll get into this stuff later. Next we'll need to get Java. There's two ways you can install Java. One is by going to the actual Java site. I'm just going to make sure it's the legitimate official site so that you don't download something with malware. Go to the free Java download, and since I'm using Linux already, to navigate here, it's giving me the choice of Linux x64, and you want the tar.gz file, which is this, rather than the RPM file, which is for a different branch of Linux than Debian that I'm using in this demonstration. If you're on Windows, then you would need to download this, then you would need to go to all operating systems and then scroll down to the tar.gz file. And then for the instructions on how to set up Java this way, I usually use Easy Linux Tips project. So you could just search for Easy Linux Tips. Go to that site. And this guy has a lot of useful information, especially for Ubuntu and for Linux Mint. And scroll down. He has how to install it in Linux Mint, Ubuntu, and Debian. So this is where you would get the instructions, and this part is why he prefers, or why he thinks primary choice is OpenJDK, which for most things is good enough, but for Minecraft I have found it just works better with Oracle Java. So here's the instructions that you would need to look at, write down, print out, whatever, and then type into the terminal. which isn't as hard as it looks. And then once you get to the browser, the ICT plugin and the browser stuff, you don't need that for a Linux server. What I'm going to do is easier. The problem with this way is that it doesn't update. You have to update it manually, which is fine. Just have to keep an eye on when it updates. There's another way though. That's the web update Java Debian. So if you search for that, you find web.update.org, click on the installing it in Debian repository, the repository I should say. So he has some explanations, and then notice I have the tab muted. Some of the ads have sound and it's annoying to me. And he gives some instructions which should work with a change in Debian 9, which we'll get into. So we'll log into our server, which as I mentioned is in the virtual machine, since I couldn't get the resolution good enough on my camera. But most of these steps will be the exact same, no difference. And notice that he says to do su and then echo, and that's, if you copy and paste this, it'll add a line to your sources list .d, which is the preferable way to do it, except that we're not able to copy and paste into a Linux server from another computer. So we'll do this a little bit differently, but it'll still work because I already tested it, so I know it'll work. So we go sudo, which we installed in the first video, nano / etc / apt / sources .list. In Debian, you'll get used to that because you use it a bit, unless, well, you use it a bit for the desktop versions, not so much this server version. And you'll see it already has some things. This is the CD mention, and it's hashed out, so it's ignored now. This is security and the FTP that we chose in the beginning of the or in part 1, and notice that that talks about stretch and stretch updates. And then the next part is main. If you want to add other stuff and from other Debian repositories, like non-free, like if you need a wireless card for some reason, that's where you would add contrib and non-free, but we're not doing that. What we're doing in here is we're going to add the web update repository. I'm just making a note here so I could scan over it real quick and see where I need to go. So we'll go make this visible, and notice that it starts with deb or deb source, so we see that in the screen right here. So we just copy that line, and I was copying it into the browser. Here we go. Deb http //ppa.launchpad.net. Make sure everything's accurate so far. Yes, because you have to have this exactly right. Web update team /java /ubuntu. Even though it's not Ubuntu, it still works. Xenial main. There. That's the first line that we add. Make sure everything's spelled right. Looks like it. And then we repeat the same thing except for adding source. If you hear a cat in the background, that's my cat. She wants attention right during the video. Yes. Yep, there she is. Okay. And back to this. Looks like everything's right. So you Control X to exit. Save it by pressing Y. And then just press Enter so that you don't have to change the file name. Just write over what's there. And we have changed our sources list and done the first up to here. Now this part is adding a key server. Problem with this is that if you just do this, Debian 9 is not set up to handle it. You have to install Dir Manager. I think that's how you spell it. And if you're watching, you might notice I forgot to update the list after adding the 2 new repositories, but it's okay in this case because Dir Manager is in the regular repositories. So Dir Manager is installed, and that will store our key for us. Now we can copy this stuff. The next step, oops, let me get back into this, find my cursor, there, okay, apt, because if you just add this repository without adding the key, then you'll get an error because it's not a trusted site. You have to enter a key so that the computer knows that it's trusted. So apt key, and we need to add sudo, I think. Well, actually, let's try it without it. apt key, add adv key server hkp // key server .ubuntu.com port 80 receive dash keys EEA, and what's the rest of this? 148.86. 148.86. So let's see, look over it, make sure it's all entered right, because if it's not entered right, it won't work. Looks right. Oh, that's a good thing I checked, because I left out a letter. Uh-oh, that's a big deal to this computer. So we'll press enter, see if it takes it. It's trying. And it looks like it took it. Okay, so we didn't have to do sudo for that, but this step we will. Now we need to do sudo apt update. Notice that it's including the web update stuff now. All packages are up to date, and it knows where to look for Java, which we're going to tell it to install now. Sudo apt install Oracle Java 8 installer. And it gives a bunch of suggested packages, but there's no point to having a browser if you don't have a GUI. Really? Okay. Oh well. So we'll continue. And now it has to download some stuff. Because Java. Oh, look. We must use the arrow keys to get to yes. And now it's at the part where it downloads Java. And then exit will get you out of Sue. We don't need that step. If we type exit in here, it'll log us out. Okay. And then next step. We should probably do this too, to make it default. Because there is the open source Java. I don't even know if it's installed, but if it is, we want to use the Oracle Java version for Minecraft to make it work better. And let's see how the download for Minecraft is done. And we just have to wait. Okay, Java has finished installing, and it did give a warning that's falling back to defaults, but it's installed everything else. So now we will enter this command. Sudo apt install oracle -java 8 -set -default. And that's already installed. Cool. But notice 8U131 looks like it might be out of date. Okay, let's go down here. And that's what we're going to do. Java. Oops, need to enter it into this box here. Java minus version. That's telling it to tell us what version it has. And it's version 131. So it's a little out of date. That's the problem with this one. Even though it keeps it up to date to a certain extent, it depends on Web Update updating its repositories on time. But that's okay, I guess. If you want to keep an eye on it manually, then go to Easy Linux Tips. Usually the Web Update keeps it updated, but sometimes, as you can see right here, it's a little bit out of date. But we're done with Java, and we have verified with Java minus version that Java is installed. Okay, so we can close this out. We don't need that anymore. We have installed Java, and I just remembered I skipped a step. No, I didn't, because I was thinking the other way. Now we need to get Minecraft onto the server from the computer that we're on. So we will pretend this doesn't exist, and we will go open a terminal, and we will enter the actual server. But first, let's look what's in this file here, folder. Okay, notice that there's some files here already, because I've been through this before, and I'm going to do this again. In prior example, I downloaded the current Java and transferred it over, and I transferred the current Minecraft that I'm using and backed it up. I'll show you how to do that. And here's the Java file for Minecraft server. So now that we're in the folder that we want to be in, where the files are stored, we will connect to the Minecraft server. sftp username, and then the IP address. You need to know the IP address. In this case, that's what it is. First time you connect, it's going to give you a warning about first time you connect, and you'll just tell it yes, and then you'll put your password in. And it's the password not of the computer you're using, the desktop that you're using, but the password of the server, because you're connecting to the server. And now I'm connected through secure shell, SFTP, actually, to this. And let's look at what's in the directory. All that's there is the Minecraft, and that's fine, because that's the actual Minecraft server that we have. But we will, for demonstration purposes, I'll show you how to back up something. Get -r, that's recursive, basically everything in the folder. Minecraft, that's the name of the folder. And then on the server, and now we're going to put the name of the folder that we want it to be, which is 1.12, and then the date. This is how I do it, the version and the date, so I can tell how old the backup is. Okay, and that should work. And now it's going to transfer all the data from the Minecraft server over to this computer, into my transfer folder. And it's going to take a while. Did I really want to do this? Probably not. So I'll pause this for a little while, wait for it to end, and then we'll get back to this. Okay, we have transferred the Minecraft folder that's currently on my Minecraft server over to this computer with the get command, and now we want to transfer our Minecraft. Let's see what's in here. I forgot already. Okay, we want to transfer what we have on this computer, the Minecraft jar, over to the other one. So we need to find out what the name is. And in this case, we might be able to copy and paste even. So that's the file we want. So we'll put Minecraft, oops. In this case, we'll put the name of the file on this computer. Let's see. There it goes. And then we will actually, let's just put it same name. Now it's uploading the Java file over to the server. Which is almost done. There it is. And now let's look at the directory of the server. There it is, Minecraft folder, which I'm currently using, and then the demonstration Java file. And now that we have, I've shown how to connect through SFTP to the server, we could get back to the virtual machine and demonstrate the final step of setting up the Minecraft server. Okay. Okay, so now we are finally ready for setting up the Minecraft server. So we've already set up Java, we've set up the, we've transferred the file over to the server, the actual server with sftp, and I've moved it into the same directory on our Debian Minecraft server, so the experience will be the same. So I'm logged in. Let's look at what's in the directory. There it is. That's all that we have installed or in the home folder. Now if we execute the code here, if we execute this code right here, it's going to open up a bunch of files and or create some files, including the end user agreement, which you'll see. The problem is I don't like it that messy, so I'm going to make a new directory, make dir Minecraft. So when we look at directories, or look at the directory, we have the new folder we created and the file. Now we'll move this file into that folder, and I forgot whether I'm recording or not. I do things like that. I forget things. Sorry. Okay, so Minecraft server 1.12.jar to home Scott, that's the path, Minecraft, and then we'll name it the same thing. Let's see if this works. And I made a mistake. I forgot a folder in the directory. Sorry. Talk about forgetting things. So I fixed that. Let's look at the directory again. We just have the one folder. Let's change directory into the Minecraft folder. And there it is. So now we can safely run this code here and have it create the end user agreement for us to agree to and start the Minecraft installation. So we'll do Java minus D64 since we're 64-bit, and Java on a 64-bit computer or server, and then we'll do the minus X. Oops, don't want that. XMX 1G, that's the maximum amount of memory it can use. And then, oops, I forgot the minus symbol. And then now the minimum, we'll just do the same thing. And now minus jar, and the name of the file, and we'll say no GUI because we don't have a GUI anyway. Okay, let's see what happens. It's thinking. It's thinking a lot. Let's see. Should be doing something pretty soon. There we go. So it says it started. Server properties does not exist. Create a new properties file. Failed to load license agreement. Need to agree to the license agreement, like I said. So let's look at what's in the directory now. We have the eula.txt, logs, the original file, and server properties. Let's look at server properties. So we'll do nano server properties. Nano, I don't know if I explained it already in the prior video, is a text editor for terminal. And it's not set up yet, so let's ignore that. Look at the files again. Nano. I forgot that we have to wait on the server properties. Need to be patient. Okay. So we have to change the setting to true, saying that we agree to their user agreement for the server. And then Control X, yes, and overwrite. Okay, so now let's look at the directory again, and we have to repeat the command. You can repeat commands by the up key. There we go, there's the command we want. Let's see what happens. It's thinking again. Now, once again, I'm only having 1 gigabyte of RAM for this thing, and it's one processor because it's a virtual machine. On the real server that I have both processors dedicated to it. I have 6 gigabytes dedicated out of 8. I could probably go up to 7 because there's no GUI on it. And so it's a bit faster, but this is good enough for the demonstration. Slowly spawning the world. It's going. Fans going on the computer. You might hear it. Almost there. Now you might be thinking, do I have to type out that long thing every time? No, we'll figure something out about that later. So, it's already complaining about the server being overloaded and that nobody's logged on because there's not enough resources really allocated to this. But we have the Minecraft server running. But let's do some more changes to this, make it easier on us. So we'll do stop. And it'll stop it and save the chunks. Let's look at the directory now. A few more files. Now, let's see. We have the EULA text taken care of. Let's look at the server properties now. It's a bit different now. This is the settings that you could change. Game mode equals 0 is survival. If you want to be in a different mode than, for example, creative, I think it's 1. Game mode equals 1. You could change all kinds of stuff, difficulty level, whether there's monsters, player versus player. That's useful in my family, especially a few years ago when the kids were younger, because they played player versus player when not all of them agreed to it, and some of them would get upset. If that's the case in your family, you might want to change that to false. Hardcore equals false. This is having not the villagers and stuff, and you get assign an IP address. This is where you could change the port number. And there's plenty of other stuff you could do too. Seed and all that stuff. You could change the name as it appears on the server list. So we'll just leave it alone in this thing, but you could change yours for however much you want. Okay, let's see what else is there. Everything else is good. Now let's make a script. So we will do manual, and then we'll name it something. Let's call it server .sh. And we have an empty file that we just that we're starting to create. And this is where you could put in your thing, your command. So we'll do Java minus xmx 1g, oops, g minus, I keep tapping on keys, minus xms, the small part, the minimum, 1g. You could go down to 256, 512, so on. M, 256 M, that kind of thing. Or you could just leave it at 1G. And then minus D64 for 64-bit Java, minus jar. Oops, not far. Jar. Okay, we got that now. Minecraft. Name of the file. Okay, look it over. Looks right. Okay. And exit. Save it. Yes. File name right. Yep, that's the name we want. And before we go further, I'll demonstrate how to check how much memory you have. Free minus M. And that's how much memory I allocated to this. I allocated 2 gigabytes. And it's only using 36 megabytes. So, without a desktop environment or graphical interface, then it uses a lot less memory. And if you had 8 gigabytes, you could just reserve 1 for the system and 7 for the Minecraft and so on. So now we know how to do that, and then we also need to know what our IP address is. IP address show. There it is. There's our IP address down near the bottom. inet 10.0.2.15, and you'll need that to connect to the server. Now let's go back and try out. Let's look at our files again. Server sh. So let's try server./server.sh. Permission denied. That's because I haven't given it permissions. And this is too many permissions because I don't remember exactly the number to give, so I'll give everybody everything. And you could look up what the numbers mean for chmod and determine what permissions you want to have. So we've changed the permissions. Let's try this again. ./server.sh. It's thinking. So instead of that big long thing, all you have to do is remember ./server.sh, and it'll start up every time, as long as nothing's wrong, of course. But you can name it wherever you want, and it's running. Our Minecraft server is up and running. Port's open for it. Java's installed. We have an easy script to type in, ./server.sh, to start it. as long as you change into the directory. Sorry. So let's exit. Oh, sorry. Stop. There. Okay. There. Happy now. So when you log in, you'll be in this directory, and so you just do cd Minecraft. You're in the Minecraft directory, and then /server.sh, and it'll start up your Minecraft server. And that's it. Can't think of anything else you need. Thank you. Bye.